New phone, who dis? How's everybody doing today? Getting on over to the live scene. I am a little bit tired today, I'll admit. A little lower energy than usual, but you know, I'll survive. Welcome on in, Ralph. How you doing today? I think I forgot to welcome on in Inflation Brad yesterday, tonight. I have this feeling like I forgot to welcome him in. Like I'm a terrible host. But thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be popping into Heart of the Woods today. I want to get these, I want to at least get the good ending. We can maybe check to see if there's a way I can do the other ending, the other bad ending, so I can see that. But primarily we want to get the good ending today. So I'll be aiming for that. Party Finder sucks. Yeah, Savage is terrible in Party Finder. It almost made me quit. Yeah. Sorry, I'm starting up my tablet here. Yeah, I feel you. I had the same thing for Asphodelos, right? I got to P3S and Asphodelos, and oh my god, I couldn't do it, man. That third fight on Savage is just, it's just rough. That said, I cleared P1S in one lockout. I cleared P2S in 2 lockouts. Like, it started out really well. PFing through Asphodelos. But when you get to P3S, man, that fight's rough. Got to the final part of M2, oh my god. Well, you're like right there, you know? It's not, once you get to Poison Heart, there's nothing to do. There's literally nothing, man. Look at your debuff, it's all healing. Just don't be an idiot. Don't break it too late, you know? That's it. Like, if it would be easier in voice, I get that. It would be easier to coordinate with your healers, like, alright, we're popping now. Okay, we're popping now. You know, etc, etc. Or have somebody call out, alright, hit now. Hit now. But if you can't do that, then, like, it's still not that difficult. But yeah, like, M2S is a strange one. I enjoy M2S, but, like, I feel like they probably could have done more with it on Savage. That said, I like how they did realize that, like, some of the mechanics were good enough for Savage as is, without much changing. They're good enough so long as there's also a threat of uptime or something else, you know? But I still think it could have been done a little more with it. That said, I like M2S more than I like P2S. Except for Campeios Harma. No, it isn't that hard. Yeah, M2S is not that difficult. But M2S has the capacity to spiral out of control very quickly. And it's rare that you actually, like, save the fight from spiraling out of control. There's a lot of, I don't know, honestly, the only thing that kills me in M2S is the alarm pheromones. That's the only thing that ever kills me in that fight. The rest of it's harder, but I don't die to it. I don't know, man. But also, I guess I have the wonderful advantage of playing a black mage in that fight. So, it becomes a little bit harder to do alarm pheromones. Yeah, I don't think M2S is very hard. M1S is harder. If only because of how much memory you have to play around with an M1S. You do or you don't, all the fight it, yeah. I mean, it's fine. Could have done a little more of it. It's about as hard as at P2S. If you include, like, the heal checks and everything. It's about on par with P2S. The only thing that P2S did that was really interesting was Campeios Harma. But Campeios Harma is kind of easily solved, so It's not like, it's not crazy. The rest of the fight, I enjoy P2S a lot. It's just not a complicated fight. But you know, it's the second fight of the expansion. The first tier tends to be like very easy in comparison to the other tiers. Like they tend to take I think they said it themselves at one point that what they do for the first tier is they take what they would normally do and then they nerf it by about 10%. Because they want the first tier to be there for accessibility, so people can jump into raiding who've never raided before and dip their feet in, get a feel for it, so then when the next tier comes out, the tier after that comes out, they're much harder and people know what to expect of them, you know? So that's why the first tier is a little bit underwhelming compared to the other. It's the same thing in Asphodelos. It's the same thing in Eden's Gate for the most part. You know? Same thing in Deltascape. It's not the same thing in Gordius, so Gordius is rough. Gordius is fucked up. Welcome on in, Nana, how you doing? We're gonna do some Art of the Woods today. We're gonna get these endings. At least get the good ending. Then we'll move on to something else. Maybe I'll stream some Guild Wars 2 for you guys. I have one more zone left in the base game, like 1.0 Guild Wars 2. The Cursed Shore. And we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll get some people in here who actually know how to play the game, who can give me some tips on how to actually play it. I hope you guys enjoyed going over to Captain Zero Puns last night. All of them were voice acting Heart of the Woods here. You're trying to get Reaper to 100? Hell yeah. M3Esh. Oh my god. I do not care to party finder this year, and I hope you guys don't mind if I don't. It feels like everybody in the raid group party finders except for me, and so I feel like I'm the shit one. I'm the shitty player, like I'm the loser and they're all good players. You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously that's not true. If we look at the logs for like M1S, like I parsed a blue without any practice. Like, I did fine. Clearly I'm not bad. But I feel like kind of a shitty player in comparison to all the other people in the static. What do you think? You want to get more practice in? You should know the fights better? Well, yes and no. Like, the raid leader should keep themselves informed on the fight, but I don't think the raid leader needs to bang their head into Party Finder. I think that they can if they want to, but I think all they need to do is be informed. You're so sorry. What are you sorry for, Rove? Sorry for him banging his head into Party Finder? Yeah. I mean, but yeah, Lana Party Finder. The two people that need to know the most about a fight are the raid leader and a black mage. And that's that. Alright. I wasn't here in P10S. I mean, I did P10S in my own static, yeah. Healer Limit Break Bonds 3. Why would you Healer Limit Break Bonds 3? Why wouldn't you just tank Limit Break Harrowing Hell? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Because people always die to, yeah, that's true. I died to it sometimes too. Also, thank you for the follow, Royal Knight 59. That was last night after I stopped watching and you were in Captain Zero Puns stream, talking about Squall and gay shit. Well, thank you for the follow. CNBT. CNBT, is that a news station? Anyway, let's get started here. Where's my cursor? There we are. It's just CBT, Ralph. If you say CNBT, the DOMs are gonna laugh at you. You know what? Actually, don't correct yourself. Maybe you want the Doms to laugh at you, actually. Just go on doing you. So, okay, so right here is where we have the first choice, right? And I believe that we need to hit I should let her mourn you. This is Tara having a breakdown about Maddie's death, potentially. And this is where the divergence takes place. So, I'm gonna hit this, and then we're gonna skip ahead to Chapter 6 and see how Chapter 6 changes. So, everything that's happened has been my fault. There's probably nothing I could say that would make up for that. Maybe I shouldn't say anything. Just hold it like this. Physical comfort is all I'm good at, after all. Jesus, Morgan. We're starting off with the feels here. We remember what Morgan said later in Chapter 6. I'll take care of him. It's the least I can do. I lower her down to the ground slowly. I don't even feel the snow on me.
Take your time. Getting it out will help.
This is all such bullshit. Why would she take Mads? She wasn't causing any trouble.
I know, right? She grabs handfuls of my sweater where her hands rest against me. I don't stop her.
I could have helped her. I could have talked this out with her, but I didn't. And because of that, I
squeeze her tighter. There's nothing else I can do. I give up on thinking of something to say. I'm better at saying nothing anyway.
I should have let her stay home. I should have listened to her when we were out here.
She pulls away from me and sits down in the snow. Then she smiles. It's a bitter, broken smile, the kind of smile you can only form when you don't know what else to do.
I just keep ruining things, huh?
Tara, you aren't the reason the two of you came here. I was. This is on me.
She has to know I'm right, deep down. I don't want her to hate me, but I'd much rather she hate me than hate herself. So, I hold Tara. I hold her with as much tenderness as I can, as she breaks into heaving sobs on my shoulder. I feel her body rocking with loss and pain, and her hot tears fall and freeze on the ground below us. I let her feel the extent of her grief. It's a pain I can never understand. The pain of losing someone important to you. Meeting Tara, I've only started to know what that bond is like, but I can't compare to what she has with Maddie. Tara's wailing grows muffled as she buries her face in my chest and hugs me tightly. Hesitantly, I stroke her hair in turn. Time passes. Eventually Tara grows quiet. She sniffles and shakes in my arms but relaxes with each breath. I never found any words to say. We sit here together until Tara finally lifts herself from me, her face red and puffy. She gives me a weak smile and wipes her face. I want to pack up the camera as she cleans herself. I start to pack up the camera as she cleans herself up. It seems like this might have helped after all. I should probably leave it be and head back with her. But one thought keeps burning in my head. I have to tell her.
Tara. I'm going to make sure you get Maddie back. No matter what.
She stares at me like I just spoke to her in another language. And she finally gives me a smile that doesn't have an ounce of sorrow in it.
I know. If anyone can, it's you.
Not sure what she means by that. She's not thinking of the same thing I am. She probably thinks I'm just talking big, like some brave knight about to go kill the dragon. I wish that was true. But I'm thinking about the one way I can save her. The way that only I can. And that's to give Evelyn what she wants. Me. I think this is the same as where it is. I'll play it a little bit, and if it's the same, then I'll skip ahead to the next choice. We don't talk on the ride back. Dara doesn't even fidget. I figured the wet pants would make sitting still even harder for her than it already is, but she's completely still. It isn't until we stop in the village that she speaks.
I hope you don't think I'm mad at you for bringing us out here.
You aren't?
Nah, I know you just wanted to make something good happen for all of us. Things just didn't work out that way is all. Besides,
Her voice trails off into mumbles. For a moment she takes a deep breath and restarts. Also, that's not the reason why Morgan brought you here.
Coming here meant I got to meet you. I'm sure as hell not complaining about that.
I'm sure you've met plenty of fans in person.
Yeah, but you're not just a fan.
Yeah, this is the same.
Not to me. You're a...
What are you saying?
She suddenly looks away from me. I think she's trying to hide the fact that she's blushing. Poorly.
I don't know, just... I haven't ever really met anyone like you before is all.
I'll let the scene play out and whisk a bed. For a moment, strange thoughts fill my head. I want to say more than that. I don't know what I want it to be, I just want more. But I know better than to ask for that.
If it helps, I haven't met anyone like you before either.
Well, I could have told you that one. I am one of a kind, you know.
No argument there.
I have a hard time looking at her. I don't know why. This is a new feeling. Look at her blush. I push away and reach for the carriage door instead. There's a weird air in the carriage
Let's
now.
get inside. We still gotta figure out how much of your stuff we can fit in my closet.
That's a weird name to call you.
I mean, I could just leave some of my clothes on the floor. That's what I do at home.
Not happening. I like being able to see my floor.
Can't blame a girl for trying.
What's that Blink-182 song? It's, Feeling This. It's Feeling This, where he's like, show me the bedroom floor. Show me the bathroom mirror. I don't know why she's making me think about this. I can't help laughing. She laughs too. It's going to be okay. She's going to be okay. I know she will. And I'm going to make sure she stays that way. That's the same. Okay. Let's go ahead and skip. Oh my god, we're fast forwarding. Oh, this, I like this. Okay. Oh, it stopped me automatically. The best you can do is the bedroom mirror. Why the... Do you not have a floor in your bedroom? Tara looks down at her feet. I can't read her expression, but the low volume of her voice tells me all I need to know. A quiet Tara is a worrying rarity. Is like the floor lava in your bedroom? Is like everything on like a raised platform and it just goes through to the next floor underneath it, so you have to like jump from thing to thing? You let my imagination wander. Why, is it like covered with undesirables? Like what's the issue with your bedroom floor? Oh, you want to be the one on the bedroom floor. I see, nice.
I mean, I guess a little time off could help me. As long as we get right back to looking for Mads afterwards.
I think this is
Of
new.
course.
I feel like I should be hurt that she's not focusing on finding me, but I'm not. I'm just glad that she's got someone to keep her from burning herself out. I don't feel any kind of power within me I could use to manifest myself. Abigail's my only hope. I turn to her, trying to keep my voice level despite my desperation.
Abigail, do you think you can manifest? Even if I can't
Yeah,
reach
that's the
them,
same.
maybe you can.
That's all the same. I hope you guys are reading all of this. Did you catch that? Okay, chapter 4. I think this is gonna be the same. Really, we want to go ahead to chapter 6. Okay, I hope you guys are all catching this right here. Walk in the forest. This is where, yeah, this is where she does. Oh my god. Hold on here. Let's save this. Because this choice might also lead us. It might refine the ending further. There's nothing we can do or she'll pay for this. So if last time we said she'll pay for this, we want to say this time there's nothing we can do? But you want to still say that she'll pay for this. This is some class of 09 shit we're doing right now, by the way. Okay, but we'll say that she'll pay for this again. Kind of want to see what nothing we get. Yeah, we'll check it. We'll check it in a bit here. Okay, that's the same.
So, what does this make us?
What do you mean?
Are we, like, dating?
This is the
I
same.
mean, it's been a while since I've done something like this.
Yeah, that's the same. Go on, keep skipping. Oh, I can't skip this. Is it different? Wait a second. It might be different because Morgan's instead saying, I don't know.
Not that it's anything against you, of course. I love you a lot. I don't doubt that for a second. But I don't know if I can put a name on that love right now. Not with everything else we're dealing with.
And here I always thought fighting an ancient evil monster would be the perfect setting for asking someone out.
It really is, ain't it? She's a sad man. That's a good sign.
Maybe, if everything turns out okay, we could give it a shot. Putting a name on it, I mean.
She cranes her neck up towards me and kisses my cheek.
Saving it for after we kick some ass, huh? I can dig it.
Yeah, this is different, isn't it?
So, what does that make us? For right now, I mean.
Can we just be people who love each other? Stay friends the way we are right now, but in love.
Yeah, I think I can do that. I do have one question, though.
It's gonna be like, can you kiss me or can you bang me or
Shoot.
something?
Can we kiss more
There you
often
go.
now?
That works for me.
Hell yeah. I already know she's about to kiss me, but I beat her there. My lips meet hers on the way up. Her squeak of surprise melts away as we hold each other. I'm still afraid. I'm still uncertain. But this helps. She helps. Thank you, Tara, for everything. Alright. That's 2 new scenes so far. Keep doing this. Keep zipping along here. Okay, I hope you guys catch all this here. There's gonna be a test afterwards, so make sure you're studying. Okay. Here's Alma. There's Kiss, big sweet kiss. Helena, like the My Chemical Romance song. Spirits. This is Doki Doki. Wait, no, this is not Doki Doki yet. This is Finding the Burnt Tree. Now this is Doki Doki. Now we're at the fairies. And now she becomes the fairy queen, okay? You guys got that? Chapter 5. Skip. Blasting through. Okay, now they're all gonna meet each other. Okay, now we have something new. Tara, stop for a second. We don't know for sure this isn't a trap.
Yeah, but what if it's not? I can't take that chance. I'm going in.
Tara, wait!
Door flies open so hard it bangs against the wall, just like Lana. Tara freezes in the doorway, probably not expecting me to be right there. Well, clearly I can't bang Lana against the floor because he doesn't have a floor in his bedroom. Or maybe not even here at all.
Hey.
Everything I had rehearsed and planned to say in my head is forgotten in an instant. Somehow this feels more unreal than anything else so far. I never had time to doubt any of the stuff that's happened to me. I had plenty of time to doubt what I'd see Tara again. Tara's mouth flaps up and down like a nutcracker statue. I don't think she forms a single coherent word. Yeah, that's a new line. I would remember that line. Morgan approaches from behind and places her protective hand on Tara's shoulder, which seems to reset her. She rubs her eyes as she stares at me. Either she doesn't believe what she's seeing or she's about to cry. Maybe both.
You changed your look a little bit, huh?
She finally speaks, her voice shakes like crazy.
You like it?
Tara gives me a slight nod.
It makes you look like a total nerd.
Without another word, she bursts into tears. She doesn't even hesitate a moment before bounding forward like an excited, tear-stained, racing dog. I've spent so long worrying about her that seeing her safe and sound in the flesh is almost too much for me to handle. There are so many things that we have left unsaid or unresolved. I'm just glad that there's time to fix that now.
I thought you were dead.
Me too.
We both burst into laughter, still punctuated with sobs. But at least we both have the clarity of mind to tell that this talk has gone on for way too long. When they split apart, she has a big dumb grin on her big dumb face. I remember that.
Welcome back, Mads.
Good to be back, Tara.
Our reunion over, Morgan finally steps forward, taking Tara's hand in her own. She smiles at me, her expression soft for once.
Hey, Maddie. It's good to see you again.
Her voice is calm as ever, but the wide, genuine smile on her face tells me that these last couple weeks have changed her as much as they have changed me.
You too, Morgan.
I feel like I should say something more than that, but I know neither of us is much for words. It's nice to have someone else around who feels the same way for months.
Before anything else, there's someone I'd like to introduce you to.
I turn to gesture tick for Abigail, but at first she's nowhere to be seen. Then I spot a familiar flash of pink and purple lingering by the bedroom door. I love it. Alright, we've spent so long together that I've forgotten how timid she was when they first met. Her eyes are wide as she wrings her hands from me to Tara to bend back. Tara and Morgan look just as shocked as once they notice her. I head over to where Abigail is and take her hand.
You're okay. I promise.
She nods, letting herself be led back into the living room.
Tara, Morgan, I'd like you to meet Abigail.
I pause for a moment.
She's my girlfriend.
Whoa, we do have a lot to catch up on.
So, didn't they say at this point, like, I think in the previous playthrough, since they did label themselves as partners, in this moment, it's like, oh, me too. She turns to face Abigail.
I'm Tara. I've been friends with Maddie for forever.
It's nice to finally meet you, Tara. I've heard a lot about you.
Hell yeah! All good
Hell
things.
yeah!
Mostly.
Abigail hasn't sniffed Tara's panties yet, so she doesn't know.
I'll take it.
So it's like, you know, Abigail is kind of like a cat or something. You need to, like, put your hand out for them to sniff and get your scent first, before she can trust you. Morgan steps forward too.
Morgan, nice to meet you.
Abigail nods politely.
You as well.
So, let's sit down. We've got a lot of catching up to do and not a whole lot of time to do it.
Why did you just do that? There we go. Four of us move to the couch and sit down. Right as we do, though, there's a loud grumble from beside me. Abigail clutches her stomach, looking absolutely
What was
mortified.
that? What's happening?
Oh, yeah. We should probably eat something.
Eat.
Their eyes light up.
That's right. I'm hungry.
Tara and Morgan look baffled. I just reverse their names. I can't blame them for that one.
Like I said, long story. Is there anything to eat? It's been a long time since either of us have had a meal.
I'll make us some breakfast. Cross your fingers for pancake mix.
Alright, let's continue skeeping. Look at all those blinks there. All the eyelash flutters. Okay. Gelidora. Gelidora continues. Gelidora comes back to the fairies. Oh my god. That door knock? Okay. And that's the girl I'm in love with. Girl I want to be with no matter what. And I want to put a name on it so you know that it'll never change. Okay. So now she approaches her again here. We pull apart as she wipes the tears from her eyes.
I don't really know a non-cheesy way to put it, so... Will you be my girlfriend?
If you're okay with everything I've done, with
Yeah.
everything I still have to do,
This is where Morgan talks about, being used.
then how could I say no?
Okay, that's a me sound right there. Tara instantly lets out a long wheeze and clutches her hand to her chest. Is she okay?
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Just give me a minute.
That's the kind of sound I would make.
I feel like my body's trying to overcome being allergic to commitment right now.
Oh my fucking god. I awkwardly pat her on the shoulder. It's obvious that neither of us have any idea what you're supposed to do in a situation like this. Tara grabs me by the waist and gently leads us over to the bed. I press my forehead against hers, and for once, allow myself to be comforted. She strokes my hair, time slows to a standstill, we kiss. This could be our last night together, but in a way, it's our first night together too. And I'm going to make the most of it by banging her silly. Okay, I hold Tara. Okay, it's not letting me skip here, which means this is different. I hold Tara close in my arms. She's nestled close to me. The sun is long gone, but the moon is bright enough to illuminate her smile. I'm smiling too. I close my eyes and let myself relax. I think I might actually sleep well tonight. Wait, that's the same. But as always, luck isn't on my side.
Hey,
What?
do you hear that?
Okay. Now Tara gets abducted. Now it's time for chapter 6, which has a different thing than before, I think. Now, Tara point of view. Scary shit. I scoop up Jandora. The baseline goes heavy. Alright. Here we are. I swallow the lump in my throat. I have to say something. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. 3 choices. Can I look at the history? I accept your apology, but I never hated you. It's your fault acting such a bitch. We'll save Tara, take care of Evelyn, then we'll all go home. Saw the lump in my throat. I have to say something. I promise there's only one way I can keep them safe for good. Okay, so that is Morgan sacrifices herself. One way or another, it ends tonight. Like the All-American Rejects. You're right. I'm not alone anymore. We can do this together. Okay, so if I go top, I think Morgan gets whacked. Last time we did this, I said one way or another it'll end tonight. Now we have a third option here. So, do you guys want to see this option first? Or do you want to see I promise I'll make it up to you first? What do you guys want? You can either throw Morgan in the garbage disposal, or we can all do this together. Because it has a cool background. That's a good point there. This one I've already done. We'll go with a cool background
You're
first.
right. It's simple.
I just accidentally took off a key unit from my keyboard. Wait, hold on. What direction is this going in? It goes this way, right? Alright. There we go. It's simple. I take a deep breath, clear my head as best I can. Oh god. Oh god. I've been waiting my entire life for this. My entire bloodline has led me to this point. The chance to end all the pain I've endured. To save someone I love. To make sure the countless people who carried this burden before me will be avenged. And to make sure that no one else will get hurt. How it goes from here isn't just up to me, it's up to all of us. Around us, the wind quickens and grows in intensity. The bright full moon looms high over us. One last time, I nod at Maddie and Abigail.
Okay,
Madigail.
let's go.
Alright. Let's do this. This is hardly a plan. It's barely more than an idea. It relies far too much on luck and everything going our way. But it's all we have. The furious winds tell me I'm in the right place, as if there were any doubt. When I approach the doors of the church, they blast open. I've been expected. I believe this is the same. Yeah, this is the same. Okay, now it's time to pause. I love you more than anything.
I love you too. More than anything.
Now it's time to see what ending we got. Together we face forward, and that's when I feel it. A cold flash of foreign fear. It stabs through my hip in the idyllic scenery. I recognize the origin immediately. Geladora's panic signal. I step away from Abigail, clearing the space. I force myself to breathe evenly as I reach within myself, mentally searching for the magic. I call upon the power within me. Unlike before, when it blossomed and flourished at my request, now it lies dormant and afraid. I understand. I'm afraid too, but there's no time to be afraid. Using my authority as Fairy Queen, I coax the magic forth. The church's presence aches it with an infection, and I promise the forest that I'll help heal it. The magic ripples through the woods. It sets upon the church, finding Evelyn easily. I can't see her in my mind's eye, but I can feel her. Her hatred and scorn and fear. Yeah, use the power of the gay to teleport her into the pool. So I'm not the only one who's afraid then. That's more reassuring than anything else. If she detects the magic that's coming for her, then I can't tell. At my will, the tendrils of magic wrap around her like vines. Then I stick my hand out, my physical, actual hand, and I pull. The result is immediate. Just above the surface of the lake, a ripple disrupts the air as a massive rift opens up. I've played Rift. Within seconds, Evelyn falls forward through it, collapsing in a heap onto the shore. It's wrong, though. She's still in her regular body. It's not just her vulnerable soul like it should be. I take a fearful step back. Why did Geladora send a signal early? My blood runs cold. What if something happened to her and Morgan? What if she wasn't too in? What if I was too late? I try to rally my thoughts and concentrate on what to do. She quickly picks herself up, wild eyes casting back and forth. Her appearance is monstrous. It finally fits her personality. Her gaze falls on me and her lips curl in hatred or disgust.
So, it's you. I see that even death didn't want you. And now here you are, stinking of snow and pine.
What does snow smell?
Stinking
I
of
guess know what
them.
snow smells like.
You wear their clothes.
Doesn't stink,
you
though.
bear their crown. But you are not one of them.
I beg to differ. She lumbers forward, her steps seeming pained. She's either dazed from being pulled here. Wait, it should be pulled here, right? Pulled here, or from the effects of her own spell. But I can't count on that to last. It just says her, not here, so...
You're right. I'm not. Just like you'll never be a human.
I need to buy myself time while I try to think.
Human. Ah, is that what you think I want? I will be more than human.
She didn't play Detroit. A gust of wind stirs up, liking at her calling. The trees shake and I plant my feet firmly to keep from losing my balance. I feel the barriers of my mind freeze and break away. She's gone. As the world spins around me, the moon shines down on the lake. I search for her presence with my mind, but I can't find her, like a fish that slipped off the line. Hold on, we need to call, Mr. Kim. I need to calm down. My heart races as my head begins to ache and throb.
You're so fragile, so easily damaged, so easily broken.
Don't call me out like this, Evelyn. The biting wind intensifies, threatening to sweep my crown away. Abigail shields herself with one arm. Evelyn, however, remains unaffected.
What's wrong, little child? Why not make this easy on yourself? I can make it painless for you this time.
Reality and illusion blur and blend. The fabrics of my vision tear. She takes another step forward to my mind, shattering what little focus I had. She's almost close enough that if she lunged forward, she could grab me by the throat. Instead, Evelyn scratches at her own neck, her nails drawing blood, but she doesn't seem to notice. High in the sky, the moon watches over us, indifferent. I can feel its light sustaining me the same that it bolsters her. She turns to look up at it, shivering.
You know why you were the first to go? Because you were the easiest.
Damn, let's just call her easy.
All alone, off in the woods. Tragic accidents happen all the time out there. Really, it's my daughter you have to blame for all this. It's a shame you won't get another chance.
I try to find her again with the magic, but I can't. It's like she isn't even there. When her consciousness shouldn't exist, there's nothing but a gaping hole. A void that feels familiar somehow. Her eyes glow red as she faces me again. My consciousness is immediately assaulted. My head pounds, I feel Evelyn enter it like an intrusive thought. With every pull she rips at my soul. My magic quakes on her power, flickering and fearful. I try to reach out and grab it, pull my own consciousness and strength into me, but every time I get close, it's yanked away. Unrelenting. Overwhelming. Die. It echoes and reverberates in my skull. I choke, momentarily forgetting how to breathe. Every single thought, every single idea snatched and destroyed. I can't even see anymore.
I knew it! Your gifts are wasted on you. Queenship is wasted on you. What good is power if you don't know how to use it? All of you are the same.
Searing pain in my head forces me to my
Your
knees.
friends couldn't save you then, just as you can't save them now.
Bouncy force shoves my head upwards, making me look at Evelyn. Peculiar rain blocks out all other sound, except for her words. I'm deaf to the wind, to the forest, to Abigail. That imagery kind of makes me think of when, like Boromir is downed, and Lurtz comes up to him and he's about to do the killing blow. So I just expect Aragorn to pop out of nowhere.
See what you've done, and despair.
She gestures imperiously towards the empty space between us. Just like the portal I used to bring her here, another hole rent and space rends itself open. Oh yeah, here we go. Through it I glimpse the murky stained glass window of the church. And then it upends, unceremoniously spilling out my friends. Or at least their bodies. Nausea hits me at the sight. Tara's there, her body limp and broken, arms and legs splayed out at an obscene angle. Blood trickles from her mouth beneath her open, sightless eyes. Morgan is also there in a heap, though her body isn't as mangled as Tara's. A grisly wound stretches from her ear across her face and down her neck. Blood stains the sand beneath her. Even Geladora lies there motionless, though her back is turned to me, a small puddle of water forms beneath her, spreading as she seems to melt. I scream. I want to run towards them or clutch at my heart, but I'm pinned in place. How? What went wrong? Was this why the signal came too early? I shouldn't have left them alone. I should have gone with them. This is my fault, isn't it? Evelyn's attack by mind ceases in order to let me truly comprehend the horror before me. As much as I fight it, my heart gives way to what Evelyn asked of me. I despair. Alright, now to see what changed. Our feet touch solid ground, and Tara immediately loses her balance. I grab her shoulder to keep her from falling. Gelladora pants heavily, the magic having taken a heavy toll on her. Maddie, Abigail, and Evelyn are on the far side of the lake. Only Abigail seems to notice us. Even from a distance, the terror on her face is clear.
Come on, they need our help.
Tara takes one step forward, then falls to the ground, clutching her ankle.
Shit.
Just then, Maddie screams, in pain or in horror. A sick feeling in my stomach, all three of them turn to look. Although there's nothing new to be seen. I know from experience that doesn't mean she isn't in pain. Abigail is tugging on her arm, but Maddie doesn't react at all. She must be beyond even feeling it. And just behind Evelyn, a familiar-looking ball of sinister light is forming, sparkling in the moonlight. Its tendrils jolt and jag with a familiar hunger. Maddie doesn't even know. Evelyn turns back to look at us, a sadistic grin on her face. The tendrils of magic shift and a feeling of impending doom fills my lungs. I look back at Tara, who scowls at her foot as she tries to move. There's no way she'll be able to. I don't have long to act. I turn to run to confront Evelyn myself. I don't know what else to do. Everything has gone wrong. All that matters to me, I didn't even get a choice here, I think. Which I think means I'm right. All that matters to me at this point is that Maddie and Tara get out of here. If I have to die for that to happen, then so be it. I hesitate, just slightly. My leg wavers as I try to take a step forward. It's enough for Tara to grab my arm, grimacing through the pain.
Where are you going?
To stop her.
Tara's grip tightens.
Not without me, you aren't.
Tara, you can't.
Neither can you. I'm not letting you throw yourself away. Not again.
Oh, maybe the choice is right here. Something soft paws at my leg. I look down to see Gelladora staring up at me.
Both of you.
Sweet as they are, there isn't any time for sentimentality. Every second we spend is a second wasted.
Morgan, the moonlight.
I glance up at the sky, but don't notice anything different. The moon shines down on Maddie and Evelyn, surely invigorating them both. However, it's obvious from the situation that Evelyn is better at using it.
What about it?
It makes magic stronger. With enough of it, and our magic, we can stop her.
Whose magic? Yours and Maddie's?
Eyes glisten in the moonlight as she stares up at me.
No, Morgan. Mine and yours.
What?
I can't keep the exasperation out of my voice. We don't have time for her to mess around. Gelladora nimbly climbs up my legs and torso, my heavy sweater protecting me from the pain of her claws. She perches on my shoulder.
Love is its own form of magic. It makes the impossible possible.
This is new here, and I'm digging it.
And I know you have plenty of that.
I turn to face Tara, who's been listening to every word. Despite it all, she gives me an encouraging smile.
I don't know anything about magic, and I'm still figuring this love thing out. But I know I believe in you, Morgan. Go kick her ass!
I breathe in deeply. I could try to stop her myself. Even if I have to die for it, I would. What Gelladora says sounds crazy, but everything about this is crazy. And I don't want to die.
Okay.
I like how her mouth is blocked by Gelladora's ear. I'm putting all my trust in Gelladora and in Tara. Just like I know they're putting their trust in me. I won't let them down. With one arm, I help keep Gelladora in place, and as fast as I can, I run, heading straight for Maddie and Evelyn. Back to Maddie. Okay.
Now do you understand? Everything that you've done still wasn't enough. Even cheating death itself. Now, join them.
Barely on the periphery of my awareness, I can see magical energy coalescing behind her. The spell that's intended to end my life. I need to react. To move out of the way. I need to move out of the way or do something. But I can't. I'm frozen. I can't tear my gaze away from the sight of Morgan and Tara. I couldn't protect them either. I couldn't save them. Maybe I deserve this too. I wasted the second chance I was given. Maybe I... Another presence cuts through the haze of my mind, giving me a sudden spark of clarity.
Madison!
Hell yeah, power of love. How do you need to do this? That overlay, too. She must have been calling my name for a while.
Madison! It isn't real! You aren't alone!
Renoa. Her words cut through my despair like a hero's sword. I lock eyes with her and I welcome her into my own head. She's so vibrant, so present, that she forces out Evelyn. Everything that I was feeling just moments before, all the fear and horror, is swept away, and it's replaced with one thing: love. She helps me make myself again. She helps make me myself again. Time itself has stopped, or rather, it doesn't exist here. Right now, we're the only two people in the universe. I'm aware that this is only a vision and not reality, yet somehow it's more than that. Perhaps it's a different kind of magic. We're surrounded by light. Stars flicker, watching us to see what will happen next. I witness both myself and Abigail, but it's not just the versions of ourselves that are here and now. Rather, it's our future together. The two of us happily laughing, smiling, growing old. It takes me only an instant to understand. She's the one imagining it, sharing this with me, the same way that fairies did. This isn't just a wish or a possibility. It's a promise. Both in my mind and in the real world, I take her hands. I don't worry about Evelyn, because in my heart, I know that we've already won. I look Abigail in the eye, and I say just two words.
I do.
I focus on the feeling of her hand against mine, the knowledge that she's with me. The I do there, masterful. I steady my breathing, face back towards the scene that Evelyn's conjured. Only now I notice the imperfections there. Morgan's sweater is the wrong color, Tara's hair clips are the wrong shape, even the markings on Geliflora's fur are different.
You liar!
I should have known. They were just more illusions. It's always illusions with her. I almost fell for the same trick twice, but it won't happen again. Before my eyes, the fake images flicker and then dissipate, vanishing entirely. For the first time, Evelyn takes a step backwards, shaken by my resolve. The spell she had been charging collapses into nothingness. She shudders yet again, harder than before. She shakes so hard that she looks like she might fall apart. But she doesn't. When she faces me again, there's still murder in her eyes. There's a little bit more than murder, too. I think we need to take Evelyn out to the, the chemical shower. Evelyn takes a decisive step forward and now stretches her hand towards me. She opens her mouth, bearing rows and rows of teeth at me. I feel Abigail press into my side and the vision disappears. Just then I spot Morgan running toward us. Gelidora in her arms. The real Morgan. With the real Gelidora. As I approach, I feel Gelidora's thoughts collide with my own. She sends me an apology for the signal, conveying in an instant everything that had happened. Then she sends me a request, along with two words. I'm ready.
Maddie! The lake!
Even Evelyn turns around to see what Morgan's talking about. Then, without warning, Morgan turns and dashes into the pond, with Gelidora still in her arms, submerging them both in the water as they vanish from sight. Tar skids to a stop, watching the spot where they disappeared as the shimmering surface of the pond scatters moonlight. I understand. There's a lot of repetition of two words here, which is, again, very well done. For what I hope is the last time I draw up the magic that the fairies have entrusted me with. I coax it out of every nook and cranny of the forest, from the frozen ground under our feet to the highest reaches of the tall trees. From the deepest depths of the seven hills to the very pinnacle of the heavens, I implore the forest to help me. Within an instant, I can feel its response. From the fairies hidden just out of sight. From the forest spirit waiting forlornly in its grove. From Alma's mother, her child taken away from her unfailed. From Morgan and Gelidora putting their fates in my hands. From the very moon itself. I move with the easy confidence of doing something that I know I was born to do. All of my short time as Fairy Queen has been building up to this moment. I step forward, bolstered with energy, and no longer afraid. I feel out the gaping hole where Evelyn's mind should be. The black, vile reminder of the existence she forsook, and the lives that she stole. I find her like a roach skittering and afraid, and I bind her. I'm sure that it sears her like fire. She shudders and shivers and quakes in the moonlight. Moon sickness. After that, I let go. I release it all, and all of the magic and power that was given to me. I let it flow out of my fingertips on its way back to its rightful owner. I can see the arc of the magic as it descends into the lake, where I know Gelidora is waiting for it. Then as the last vestiges of it leave my body, the vision of it disappears, and the warmth of the moonlight vanishes, leaving me cold. The thousands of voices and consciousnesses quiet, and then go still, leaving me all alone in my head once. Consciousnesses is a difficult word to say. My dress returns to its proper form as just a jacket, and the flowers wither and shrivel away into non-existence, not death. The crown on my head crumbles to dust, brushing past my ears before it's blown away. At the same time, Morgan resurfaces and swims ashore where Tara is waiting for her. The moonlight is endlessly refracted through the water where it shimmers and sparkles. Beneath the surface, I can see her. Let's go. The Ronnie ending. Gelidora crests back through the surface, her true form restored, as she accepted the mantle of Fairy Queen once again. Hold on. Ralph, are you down bad for Ronnie? I mean, the Fairy Queen? With lipstick like that, I'm down bad. A shining dress the color of freshborn snow. Oh, freshborn snow. That's nice. Adorns her, glittering as brightly as the stars overhead. Sorry, I had to take a moment as a poet to admire something. Water streams down her in little rivulets, some turning to ice or frost on the way. She's breathtaking. My dress was pretty, but it didn't suit me nearly the same way as the role of Fairy Queen seems to suit her. Even Evelyn is speechless. Gelidora closed her eyes for just a moment. Her breathing slows almost imperceptibly, just enough that I involuntarily step backwards. Oh, now you're looking a little smug there. Her movements mirror the ones I performed just moments ago. Gelidora's stance is more experienced, more graceful, but I recognize it. She is calling upon the forest magic. Then raises one hand high. The moon seems to glitter at her fingertips. In one swift motion, she slices downward, moonlight trailing behind her. It pierces Evelyn like a spear, fatal and true. Oh, hi there, Kimmy. Her whole body convulses as the moon sickness wreaks its terrible havoc on her. Her flesh bubbles and roils as it tries to escape the dying spirit within. It's a gruesome sight, and I look away, turning instead to Abigail. We're trying to get the good ending, and everybody seems down bad for Gelidora now. She holds me tightly. As I watch Gelidora approach the store, I can hear the buzzing of the fairies, just out of sight, as they start to return to greet their queen. I don't even have to be connected to the forest to know that it's rejoicing. It's over. We've won. I stand there on the shore, hardly daring to move. I keep expecting Evelyn to reappear, more powerful and furious. Or worse, for all of this to be an illusion as well. But it isn't. Not a trace of Evelyn remains, neither body nor soul. Gelidora stands on the ground where last was. The Fairy Queen's eyes are closed in mourning. Not over losing Evelyn, of course, but over losing the fairy she had once been. I look down at myself in my regular clothes once more, in my flesh and blood body. I shiver a little at the breeze. It's a miraculous feeling. Then I turn and pull Abigail towards me, As we wrap our arms around each other in the biggest hug imaginable, neither of us say anything. We don't have to. From the side of the lake, Morgan and Tara approach us. Tara's limping, leaning on Morgan for support. They both look a little bruised, but not too badly off. Abigail and I walk over to meet them.
You did it, huh? You really did it.
Yeah, we did.
It's still sinking in.
Morgan, Tara, are both of you alright?
Yes, I'm fine.
I'm good too. Messed up my ankle when we got here, but it's nothing too bad.
And your head.
Hey now, I already said not to worry about that one.
Jesus Christ. I think there's... Look, I think there's a few more things that need to be fixed. Don't worry. For better or for worse, it really is impossible to face Tara. She could have died several times within the last hour, but here she is, cracking jokes. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. I finished that bottle, so let me open up a new bottle here. No, there's only clickbait and women in her head. There we go. I really admire that about her. I admire the clickbait women too, in an endearing way.
Are you sure you're alright, Morgan? You kind of just jumped into a lake.
Someone needs to crack my neck,
And it was
man.
totally badass.
Yes, I'm positive. Thank you for worrying about me,
She's
though.
probably wet as fuck though, and she's gonna freeze to death if you don't do something about that.
That's what family's for.
The two of them exchange a smile. As I do, I look up to the sky once again, and for just a moment I close my eyes. In my head, I offer a word of thanks to the forest for its protection and everything it did for me. A chilly breeze blows in response. Loud buzzing fills the air, and we watch the swarm of fairies as they rush towards us from the trees. I step back to stand beside my friends as the fairies arrive, joyously fluttering above Geladora's head. A bright smile illuminates her face as people welcome her home. Her people welcome her home. They don't speak. Their need for human language is now gone. They don't acknowledge me at all. I strain to try to spot Hay or Frio or Anon, but I can't. I'm sure they're there, amongst the rest of the hive. They don't pay me any mind at all. Maybe that's for the best.
So this is like really cool.
She and Morgan are both watching, somewhat awestruck. So there's a reason I played this before stream today. It's like my favorite, and it's also the most Please Be Happy of the tracks.
When we get home, Mads, you've gotta write an autobiography. Either that or the best fantasy novel ever.
Looking down at the
I'm
keyboard.
sure you can make millions off the book deal.
So I accidentally took off a key from the keyboard earlier. I wanted to make sure that it's in there properly. I wrapped my arm around Abigail.
I'm good.
Hey, Abigail.
I've got everything I need right here.
Hell yeah, I'm out of you. Abigail grins, putting her arm around me in turn. Look at that smug-ass little bitch. Tara groans and makes an exaggerated gagging noise.
Okay, if you're gonna be that sappy all the time, then...
Just like when she's with the gag on Morgan's strap. Morgan interrupts whatever the consequences will be by leaning forward and kissing Tara on the lips. That shuts her up fast.
Then we'll just have to outdo them, right?
Oh no, she's getting the strap out. Maybe the second or third time ever, Tara looks like she doesn't know what to say. But in a good way. As we all laugh, Geladora approaches us, the rest of the fairies forming a cloud over her head.
So, it's over.
That'd be you, what, gagging on a strap?
There's much to be done. The forest will need time to heal and recover. It will take years, but it will happen. Thank you, all of you. Mere words cannot express how grateful I am. How grateful the forest is.
I can't tell you how much I love her lipstick.
Especially to you, Morgan and Abigail. Your family has suffered so much over the years.
That's right. Gelidor was there with Morgan throughout everything. She's the only one who can come close to really understanding what Morgan's been through.
It's over now, though. Just like the forest, it'll take time to heal and recover. But we'll be okay.
That blue lipstick is underrated.
I know you will.
Just look at it. Gelidor faced away from me, looking out towards the forest at large and towards the waiting cluster of fairies. Her domain and her people.
What about the folks back in Eisenfeld? What'll happen to them?
I imagine they'll recover from the glamour rather quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't even remember Evelyn's existence.
They'll just be like, yo, where's our mayor? What mayor? Shit, we gotta vote for a mayor.
There might be some difficulty as they figure out who will manage their affairs.
That's what Gelidor is saying, man. She turns back to us now, smiling. In particular, she looks at Morgan.
But I don't imagine any of you will be around to concern yourselves with that.
Right.
There is something very subtly smug about Gelidor still. I think she still is a cat. At the same time, Morgan and Tara reach for each other's hands. They smile at each other, meeting halfway.
And you, Abigail, are you looking forward to leaving?
Certainly. I've heard so much about the rest of the world from Madison and from Tara already that I can't wait to see it myself. Although, I'm a little nervous about, what were they called?
Planes.
Airplanes.
Hell yeah.
Yes, those. I do hope they're safe.
That's what we're saying, Lana. She looks to me for support, and I put an arm around her.
It'll be fine. I promise.
It's okay, we'll hook you up with a good therapist, Abigail. I know a guy. She'll have to get used she'll have to get used to... Well, she'll have a lot to get used to in the modern world. I can't fucking read, man. She'll have a lot to get used to in the modern world, but it seems like she's just excited to experience it, as I am to show it to her. Even Morgan will have some acclimating to do, after spending her whole life with Eisenfeld's limited amenities. It's fine, though. As Morgan mentioned, we have so much time. The Fairy Queen smiles at us again.
I see. If you don't mind, I'd like to show you just one last bit of magic. Something long overdue.
Okay. What a strange device. Keeps food cold all year round. I mean, there are devices that keep food cold, but they use physics and thermodynamics rather than machinery. Cars. The four of us look at each other, then nod in assent.
Lead the way.
Gelidor takes us around the pond to the far side, right to the boundary of bare ground and covered snow. She kneels down, scraping together a mound in her hands, while the rest of the fairies watch from above in reverent silence. Their usual keening muted for now. This main menu theme. The ball of snow in Gelidor's hands is shaped and smoothed out as she alternates between scraping and batting it. Soon, I realize the form it's taking, that of one of the fairies. Gelidor then gathers several other materials from the forest of debris, pine needles, a soggy leaf, a couple tiny pebbles, and even more objects that I can't see. She arranges the pebbles on her snow sculpture to form a face. Then she deftly weaves together a few sun and pine needles and ties them around the back of the head. I realize that they're supposed to be glasses, or at least an intimation of them.
Madison, it's you!
Oh no, the Maddie voodoo doll that Abigail's gonna be like... Maddie's gonna be at work, and Abigail's gonna be like touching the Maddie voodoo doll. I think I've seen this in a porn before. As Gelidor wraps the leaf around the snow fairy, I realize that Abigail's right. It's not an exact replica, of course, but it's definitely supposed to be me. Once it's complete, Gelidor lifts a tiny model from the ground, holding it in her cupped hands like a treasure. For a second, I think she's going to hand it to me, but she walks right past and heads to the shore of the pond. You would like that? I mean... With her back to us, she lifts her arms, holding the tiny sculpture aloft. The moonlight shines down on her, illuminating the snow in her hands. The air around them starts to glimmer and sparkle, the light of the moon reflecting off of nothing. Geladora's whole body glows with a soft white aura that's brightest in her hands. Then the little fairy in her hands flutters to life and flies into the air. With just 2 beats of fragile wings, it turns and joins the rest of the swarm, where it's immediately accepted into the fold. You're gonna have to DM me later. It better not be about another Lovins. I was just thinking, like, is she making a new fairy? Or is she making, like, a keepsake? But it seems like a new fairy that looks like Maddie. Fairy Queen turns back to face us, the sparkling magic now calm once more.
A tribute in your honor. This was the first birth of our people in over a century, ever since I was first bound.
Gelador just fucking bred in front of us.
Through this little one, your memory will live on in these woods.
Thank you. It's an honor, really.
It's a bit strange to me that she chose me as the model rather than Morgan, whom she knows much better, or Abigail, who she's far more intimately connected with the forest. After all, it's not like I did a whole lot as Fairy Queen, but you did enough, Maddie. And that's what matters. Still, the gesture is touching. I watch the little fairy for as long as I can until it's assimilated into the rest and impossible to keep track of. Terror's positively green within me.
Before you leave tomorrow, will you come join me for a final time? We have one last farewell to make.
She looks at Abigail as she says it. Abigail's eyes widen and then she nods.
We've got a late train, so it's easy to do.
You already got his tickets home?
Hell yeah! One of us has to be on top of things around here.
Certainly not you, Taro. She smirks and I playfully smack her shoulder. Going home. Just the thought of it is exciting. The prospect of returning to our normal lives without having to fight for them. By now it feels kind of like a dream. For once, one that I know will come true. We still gotta, I guess, go back to the forest spirit, huh? Once again, I wake up before Abigail does. Hold on. Hold on. Nope, not this. That's tits. It's not my VTube model. Oh no. VTube Studio. There you go. Once again, I wake up before Abigail does. My bed isn't even as big as isn't. God. My bed isn't even as close to big enough for both of us, but it didn't stop us from getting a full night's sleep. She lays nestled against my side, breathing peacefully, while I contemplate the sunlight streaming in. No matter where Tara and I travel to, I'm always looking forward to going home. That's especially true now. It feels weird to imagine that this time tomorrow, I'll be on a plane over the sea. We'll have a long way ahead of us. Our train doesn't depart until the afternoon, then it's hours to the city. At least, it'll be much more cheerful than my trip out here when it was just Tara and me. For as long as I can, I just remain in bed, cuddling close with Abigail. It's so nice to be able to just turn off my brain and relax. No deadlines, no threats, no flickering in and out of existence. Peace. It isn't too long before her eyes flutter and drift open. She yawns, cuddling even closer to me. Without moving the rest of my body, I turn my head to face her and our noses brush together.
Good morning.
Good morning, Madison.
Maddie, you slept in your glasses, you idiot.
How'd you sleep?
It was the best sleep I've had in 200 years.
Give me that smug-ass look again, Abby. She smirks, and I laugh too.
That joke never gets old. Fitting.
Abigail moves in closer, draping herself across my arm and shoulder like a cat. Her hair falls against my face, and I blow it away with play puff hair. That look kills you, I know, right?
What about you?
Better than I have in months.
It's true. We both passed out pretty quickly after getting back to the cabin last night. Even the excitement of the day's events couldn't keep us up.
Will our bed in America be this comfortable?
Oh, it's even better. Although BT, our cat, really likes to sleep up there. So you might have to fight him for the spot.
BT will have to find somewhere new to sleep because I don't want to share you.
That's right, Abigail. She shoos away an imaginary cat with one hand. I love her.
Maybe he'll like Morgan.
Same.
She's gotta be used to having cats around by now. Gilidura counts. Technically?
Our home will be so lively, won't it?
Absolutely.
Well, at least until one of you two has to move out. Well, one of the two couples has to move out eventually. God, it must be so awkward because having two couples in the house, it's like there's always going to be a day, like every day of the week, somebody is going to have like a sock on the door. And you have to stay out and like listen to what's going on in the back. It's just trading back and forth. Like, yeah, it's not as bad as if you were like, say, college dorm roommates or something, but like, oh my god, just being housemates or like apartment mates, like, oh my god. Alright, you get the afternoon this weekend, yeah, exactly. Hope the walls are thick. I really do too. It's gonna be difficult to go without anything happening.
I can't wait.
Me either.
Okay. I pull myself back down here then. The sounds and smells of Morgan and Tara preparing breakfast wafting through the bedroom eventually stir us to get back into gear. I pack what little clothes I brought while Abigail gets dressed.
Good morning.
I see you've requested the couch tonight. Yeah. Exactly. I don't want to think about that. Like, two couples living together, like, you've got to have at least one of the couples, one person and one of the couples has to be somewhere else, so somebody can leave and everybody can have their privacy, you know?
Meowdy meow.
Meowdy? Tara? That's my line.
Please don't ever say that again. But, good morning.
Meowdy meow.
Hello, what are we eating today?
Wow, you don't waste any time, huh?
I've wasted a lot of time not eating, and I intend to fully make up for it.
Yeah, Tara. This girl's got a bottomless pit. Both for sex and for food.
You're in luck. I brought over all the food I had at home, so there's plenty.
She sets a platter of pastries on the table, and Abigail immediately dual wields a blueberry muffin and an everything bagel. Yo, I want an everything baconing and cheese on an everything bagel with blue cheese right now. Like yesterday. Like I want this like negative minutes ago. Does anyone want to make that happen? I haven't had one in like a year.
Wait, you already went all the way to town and back and then made breakfast?
Yes.
Isn't she amazing?
She's not amazing. She just wakes up too early. Morgan blushes. That might be the first time I've witnessed that. Abigail really is Miho. Crumbs litter the table, the aftermath of Abigail's enthusiastic eating. I've never met someone so delighted just to be eating food. Hey, you've never met me.
Have as much as you'd like. I'll bring the rest with us on the train.
Eating with her mouth? You mean talking with her? Have as much as you like. Okay.
I'm not
Sorry.
sure we're gonna have to worry about leftovers.
Abigail grins in agreement. I almost said excitement. After we finish, I take all the dishes back into the kitchen and set them by the sink. Morgan starts washing them right away.
I'm not sure who I'm washing these for, but it feels wrong to just leave them dirty.
What'll happen to this place once we're gone?
We could loot it. You know, at least, like, strip the place of copper before you guys leave. Like, come on. She shrugs.
I'll leave the key in my shop. I don't really care beyond that. It's nice to not have to.
She wipes the plates dry with a towel, and then we go back to the living room. The rest of the cabin is already immaculate. Rent it? Yeah. Make an Airbnb out of it. Like a... You know, there's so much that you can do with this. There's so much money you could make off of this, Morgan. It's a wasted opportunity. The blankets are folded, the furniture is realigned, everything is in its place. I'd say it's tidier than the day we arrived. I give my bedroom a final once-over, looking for anything I may have left behind. Of course, there isn't anything. I shut the door behind me. The action has a sense of finality to it. Everyone else is waiting for me in the living room.
So we're going out into the woods one last time, right?
Yes. I need to say goodbye to a friend.
Whoa! You know someone else in the forest? Is it Elvis?
You're never
It's
gonna let
fucking
that
Elvis.
go, are you?
Who's Elvis?
Don't worry about it. Tara's just being dumb.
Aren't I always?
Ain't that the truth?
You got me there. Anyway, you'll see when we arrive.
I don't want to spoil the surprise. Plus, I want Abigail to be able to share a peaceful farewell. Especially remembering what she told me before about the Fairy Queen and the Forest Spirit. We head outside and into the forest. For the first time since we got to Eisenfeld, it's not that cold out. In fact, it's even a bit warm. I wonder if that's coincidence, or if it has something to do with Evelyn being gone. Neither would surprise me. Well, it is December 22nd, right? It's probably coincidence. We haven't gone very far when Gelidora suddenly appears, popping into sight just a few feet away. Her arrival is silent. No smoke or sound or anything like that. Just 1 second it's empty. Next, she's there.
Good morning.
Morgan and Tara both flinch at her suddenly arrival, but Abigail and I are unaffected.
I've been waiting for you. I could feel the four of you into the forest.
That's awesome! So your fairy sense started tingling?
Gelidora tilts her head perplexed. Tara really needs to learn her audience out here.
Anyway, if you're prepared, I'll take you all the rest of the way. It would take far too long to walk.
It is not a tingle. I merely sense a burning sensation when you enter my woods. Oh, look at this group photo. The five of us join hands. Gelidora standing between Morgan and me. Her hands are cold but not unpleasantly so. In the time that it takes her to blink, we've teleported to the grove of the ancestral trees. Even without being one with the forest, the magic in this place is palpable. It soaks into the earth and trees, and the air is sweet. We approach the ancestral grove with careful, quiet steps. The destruction that Evelyn caused is more prevalent here. Streaks of ash still blemish the surrounding trees, the painful reminders of the one she slew. Just ahead I can see the clearing where I know the forest spirit will be. Gelidora steps aside, gesturing for Abigail and I to continue on. We do. When the spirit comes into view, I can hear Tara gasp from behind me. The spirit looks even weaker than the last time I saw it. If previously it looked old, now it looks downright ancient. Its once terrifying eyes lost their luster. Its wooden body is even more knotted and warped than before. And it's so small. Oh, the poor guy's not.
Is this your friend?
Without turning around, Abigail nods.
For all these years we've been together. It was the forest spirit who saved my soul when Evelyn came for my body.
Abigail reaches out a hand, going to the forest spirit's side. Like every time before, I also keep my distance.
Abigail.
I know. It's time, isn't it?
I'm taking a drink here. Gelidora nods. The forest spirit peers down at the girl by its side. I'm sure that it loves her back. Abigail takes a single step backwards and Gelidora moves to her side. Then the fairy queen raises a palm and presses it against the forest spirit. The sensation of magic gathering is familiar to me by now, even though this time it's flowing past me, not into me. Gelidora calls life from the surrounding trees, here, where life is more vibrant. The ground rebels under our feet, surging with unseen power. The sunlight beaming onto us feels warmer. Everything is gloriously, happily alive. Forest spirit's twisted form starts to change and morph, not in a painful way, like how Evelyn died, but much more peaceful. Jagged shards of wood soften and retract. Its two legs start to stitch together into one solid trunk. Its arms stiffen, reaching upwards and outwards, slowly regaining the colossal height that it once possessed. Roots appear and bury themselves into the ground as the forest floor itself rises a little to accommodate. I remember now that Abigail mentioned before that one of the Fairy Queen's duties was to help the forest spirit pass on. With Geladora missing for so long, it was impossible. I wonder how many decades or centuries this one had existed before meeting Abigail. No wonder all the trees here have such vibrance. No wonder this is the center of life in the forest. Just like the process that made me Fairy Queen, there's a little pomp and flair to the transformation, but instead it feels intimate and calm. When Geladora retracts her hand and the magic dissipates once more, everything is still and silent. Oh, Josh. I'm tearing up at the poor forest spirit. Abigail falls to her knees at the base of the newborn tree. The spirit's great eye slowly slides down the trunk, final magical motion, until it's level with her face. Despite the tears in her eyes, Abigail manages to smile.
Hello, old friend. Thank you for everything you've given me. Not just company, but another chance at life itself. I'll miss you. I really will. More than I'll miss anything else here. I'm sorry I wasn't around much lately. But I hope you know that I was very happy. Even when it was just us. Even when there was no one else.
Voice acting is so good, man. She reaches up, touching her hand to the tree just like the Fairy Queen did. Except isn't a regal, powerful touch. It's delicate and soft. Oh. She presses her forehead against the tender bark, not bothering to wipe away the tears.
And I hope you know that I'll be even happier now. You don't have to worry about me. I'll be okay.
Abigail remains there for a long moment. The forest spirit's eye watches her as best it can, for as long as it can. Slowly it goes dim. The red light fades to gray, into the same plain brown as the rest of the tree. Within moments it's indistinguishable from the rest of the forest. Abigail looks back up and notices the change. She brushes her hand across the sightless eye, and then rises to face Geladora.
Thank you.
I'm sure you made its life that much more wonderful as well.
I hope so.
It's a very Juliet moment of you, Geladora.
Terra, do we still have time before we have to board our train?
Couple hours, yeah.
If it's no trouble, I'd like to return to the Fairy Grove one final time.
I'd be happy to take you.
Tara and Morgan nod in approval. They've both been keeping pretty quiet. That's only unusual for Tara. Still, I'm glad she's being considerate of the solemn mood. Once more, Geladora takes our hands and transports us to the fairy clearing. There's no evidence here of what took place last night. While there aren't any deer this time, a few birds are in their nests. All's right in the grove. It's a little strange to not instantly feel the presence of the fairies in my head. I'm sure they're close by, but like usual, they keep their distance. As soon as we regain our balance, Abigail wordlessly starts to head for the shore. Tara taps me on the shoulder.
Hey, me and Morgan are gonna take a walk. Give you two a couple minutes.
Sure. Thanks.
You lower that finger gun right away, Tara, so help me. The two of them set off at a leisurely pace around the water. Geladora goes with them. She and Morgan will surely want to say goodbye as well. Abigail's already down by the water and I move to join her. Her hand grasps mine as she squeezes tightly. She breathes in deeply. I do the same. The air is crisp but refreshing. This place has been so special to the both of us that I'm a little sad to leave it behind as well. I know that's nothing compared to how Abigail must feel. I don't speak. I'm sure that in her heart, Abigail's saying her final goodbyes to this place. I'll let her be the first to speak. We stand there in comfortable silence for a while, hand in hand.
I said before that I had come to love the forest as much as I possibly could. But now, when we're about to leave, I realize that I was wrong.
You had more.
Because I love it more now than I ever have before. It isn't that I want to stay, but rather that I never had the opportunity to miss it. And now, on the eve of my departure, I'm sure that I will.
Abigail, have you ever heard the song by Linkin Park called Till It's Gone?
I think there's a certain kind of love that comes from having something, but there's a different kind of love that can only come from losing it.
By surprise, she isn't crying. In the past, when we've talked about this, it's been accompanied by tears, both joyful and sad. But now, when I look over to Abigail, she looks determined. Determined to be happy.
Just because you leave something behind doesn't mean you've lost it. It just means that you have to learn to love it in a different way. When you look back on something and it makes you smile, that counts too.
Man, I feel like that's a very important lesson there from Maddie.
Love isn't just about moving forward. Sometimes it's about looking back. This place will always be special to you. And to me, in different ways.
In the words of Avril Lavigne, so much for my happy ending.
What if I forget? What if someday I can't look back and remember what it looks like? What if I can't remember how it felt the first time we kissed? What if I forget how happy I am right now?
Never will.
Even if you forget, you'll still carry it with you. It's still a part of who you are. It made you the person you are today. The memories aren't what's important. What's important is how they help you grow.
I go quiet again after that. I surprised even myself with those words. When I look back, 5 or 10 or even 50 years from now, I wonder how I'll feel about this time in my life. Not just the forest and all the magical things that have happened, but everything that led up to it. Working on Terra Normal and all that we have accomplished there. All the dreams that I put aside for it, but also the new ones that it instilled in me. Take a drink real quick while the ad runs here. And man, I'm on a roll tonight. I've talked about Green Day, I've talked about All American Rejects, I've talked about Avril Lavigne, I've talked about Linkin Park. I still have a lot to figure out and feelings to sort through, but now the future doesn't seem too ominous and scary. In fact, I'm looking forward to it. And that mirrors something that Maddie said earlier in the story too, right? Maddie had a moment where she says, with Abigail, she's like, I'm no longer dreading this, I'm looking forward to it. And now, she says it again at the end. From behind us, I can hear the sounds of Morgan and Tara approaching once more from their walk. I squeeze Abigail's hand and she starts to lead me back towards our friends.
Come on, let's go home.
Take it home, buddy.
All aboard! The train conductor yells out his iconic line, and there's a
Yes.
loud hiss as the train begins to move. It feels like something out of an old-timey film, but I suppose that's more than appropriate for how our journey has gone so far.
I'm so glad we get more Maddie narration.
Beside me, Abigail sits with a white-knuckle grip on the seats, alternating between staring out the window and making sure the ground is still beneath her. Across from me, Tara and Morgan sprawl across each other, all pretenses of not a couple abandoned. As for me, I drink it all in, with a smile on my face. Every one of us deserves this. We pull out of the station, and I gaze out the window alongside Abigail. On the way in, I remember how scary and foreboding the forest looked, and how it felt like entering another world. Now, on the way out, I certainly won't miss it, but I'm not afraid anymore. I wonder if Galadora is watching us, somewhere out there.
One VN has changed people. Was that Tsukihime? Or was that Katawa Shoujo? But, I think, well, Studio Erlon consistently has those good messages in their VNs, you know. In this one, we're learning to look back fondly upon things and allow ourselves to move on. To some degree, we're also learning to be true with ourselves and our emotions, you know? Talk about Tsukihime. I'd like to play Tsukihime if there's an English translation. I would be down to clown with that one. But I just haven't played it so far because there wasn't an official English translation. And that's what I need, really. It's not Twitch approved. Well, fuck my ass then. And please be happy. You know, there's quite a lot that we cover, from mortality and overcoming grief to seeking help from others and like not pushing ourselves, and there's so much that like Please Be Happy also has to say for itself. Then you go back to Highway Blossoms, right? Highway Blossoms is really like the base game is telling us to let ourselves mourn, and it does tell us like the power of communication. The DLC talks about how it's okay to feel differently than everybody else, and like how talking with others helps us deal with our own problems. You know, there's a lot of talk about relationships and how, so like all of these games, I feel like all of them have a very strong theme, which is important in writing, because the theme is the intersection between your characters, your plot, and your setting all together. It develops a theme. A theme is the message that you want to send as a writer. It's the meaning of the thing that you write. If you write something without meaning, everyone will know it. You know? Everyone will see it, and nobody will enjoy it. So, all of these games that I've seen so far, even at times where their writing might not be the most impressive, which it rarely ever is anything less than impressive, all of them have such strong theme and core emotional, like, a core emotional center that it's hard not to come out of these games feeling affected, you know? It's really hard to read the stories and not be affected by it. Final Fantasy X also had really strong theme. You guys saw me cry at that. Like, Final Fantasy X did an excellent job at that. But some things, on the other hand, if you're not thinking about your theme as you're writing, if that's not something that's on your mind as you do it, you're going to really struggle to have a unified sense of the purpose of your writing. And so, like, you really can't have a good story without it. But like I said, they're masterful at this. That's their thing. And it has a profound impact when you read it.
Hey, Mads.
Of course Terra's the one to break the silence.
How proud do you think my folks will be that I finally got around to adding forged government documents to my criminal record?
You need me to send a message to Josh via Twitter. What about?
I just have to laugh. I can't even be mad at her for this one, because there's no way we're getting Abigail into the country otherwise. I'm not sure how she did it. Maybe that's a brand of magic of her own.
What will be the first thing we do when we get back?
Oh, you know we're gonna party!
From where her head rests on Morgan's lap, Tara still manages to strike a pose.
We've got New Year's coming up. Plus, Maddie's birthday is the day before.
I feel like it would be invasive of me to write that message for you to Josh. But he's very approachable on Twitter. All of Studio Elon is very approachable when it comes to social media presence. I mean, they showed up here, for example. And I know that Josh has watched the stream, or at least looked at my VODs, so... You make a new Twitter... Hey, that's up to you, man.
Both Abigail and Morgan's eyes widen. I try to brush it off. Every year, Tara swears we're going to go all out for my birthday. Every year she takes like 2 drinks and passes out, or falls out of her bar stool. Whichever comes first.
Hell of a voice acting.
Morgan, Abby, both of you drink, right?
I do.
It's been quite a long time since I have, of course, but I'm certainly partial to it.
You both know what that means then, right?
Tara's question is met with 3 blank stares.
Drinking contest!
Oh god, Tara. Not again.
Come on, you're okay with Morgan and Abby watching you drunkenly sing MCR, right?
No, I'm not okay.
You're already starting the MCR right there. Believe me, I'm okay.
While Tara launches into an extremely exaggerated version of my last birthday party for Morgan and Abigail's benefits, I find myself looking out the window, watching the world go by once again. There's so much that I'm looking forward to when we get home. Teaching Abigail about the world, going back to school. I'll also do my best to help Morgan take over the duties on the show. Maybe I'll even come back to guest star in an episode or 2.
Well, you also sing I'm Not Okay, I Promise by MCR when you get drunk?
For so long, I wanted the world to slow down.
Really?
Just a little bit. So I could catch up, figure things out, figure myself out. If there's one thing that being dead and hearing Abigail's stories taught me, it's that I don't want to look back later with regret. Just like I told her at the lake, we have a lot of good memories left to create. I intend to savor every minute of them. I listen to the conversation, laughing along even while I daydream about the future. My heart is happy here, even if my head's in the clouds right now. Abigail leans into my side, giggling at some joke whose punchline I missed, but I smile all the same. She'll make an optimist out of me yet. If there's one thing that we have now, it's time. And as for everything else, well, I'm sure the world won't mind if I keep it waiting just a bit longer.
So you don't sing MCR, Ralph, is what you're saying. Just, in my head, I'm like, they're gonna cover up your looks with all the lies in the books and make a citizen out of you. Oh, sorry, got music playing. Look at that. Oh my god, we get the goods. We get the good credits. Let's go. Stuck in your head now? Good. That's what I'm here for. Let me turn this up in my own head, or my own ear. Headphones. Part of the Woods ending theme by I'm in Love with a Ghost. I have not listened to I'm in Love with a Ghost. Oh. That A major. I'm enjoying this. Hold on. This is sweet. This is so weird. I like it. It's so shoegazer. It's very interesting, this scene. Oh my gosh. Oh. And it's especially like a nostalgic feeling when you have the A major going on, like as if the key for it. Oh my god. It's bright and oh, look at all these etch-a-sketches. It's probably concept art. But in the negative. Definitely concept art, but in the negative. Yeah, look at that. Thanks to the Kickstarter supporters. No cryptids were harmed in the making of this. Oh, good. I was afraid that somebody gave Bigfoot foot reduction surgery at some point in this. Thank you for playing. That was so much of a better ending than what I got before.
Madison, look! There it is!
Jesus Christ, you scared me, Abigail. Abigail reaches out the open window to point at the ocean, sparkling in the summer sun. My heart pounds, I hear the pure joy in her voice. The instant the train pulls to a complete stop, she and Tara bolt for the door. Morgan grins at me and stands to follow them. I'm right behind her. Alright, gang, this is it.
Smell that air. Feel that ocean breeze.
Hell yeah.
Look at those crashing waves. I told you this place was awesome.
I need to clap at that. Giving me what I want. Beautiful, please be happy. Artist I can't remember the name of, you're giving me what I want. She looks back to us to make sure we're all as overjoyed as she is. With all her excitement, you think she was the one who had never seen a beach before.
This is...
Now that's a Maddie shirt right there. That's a Maddie getup. Her voice trails off as her head swivels around, trying to take it all in. I silently step behind her and take her hand. She doesn't look at me, but the small squeeze she gives my hand is all I need to know that she appreciates it. Morgan cut her hair! Oh my god. I need to sit up for this. Holy shit. Morgan, you look like you got the star in the next Alien movie.
Pretty incredible, huh?
She closes her eyes and tilts up towards the sun, taking in the summer glow.
It's better than I ever dared to imagine.
If only I could bark on stream, I would. I'm not that uncouth. For a moment I was reminded of the glow that surrounded her the first time we read together. Was that the first time my heart stopped when I looked at her? It's happened so often that I lost count. Oh my god, you gay son of a bitch. By now, I've known her as human for longer than I knew her as a ghost, but she's still got that same otherworldly beauty that she had back then.
Thank you, Madison.
Abigail looks back to me and smiles.
For everything.
I know the kiss is coming before Abigail even starts to move, and I'm more than ready for it. I wrap my arms around her and let her lips press against mine. Our bodies perfectly pressed together.
You were worth the wait.
Hell yeah. I agree, that's why it's called a slow burn. We touch our foreheads together, fingers intertwined. There's no need to say anything else. For once, Tara waits for us to finish before interjecting. But the instant we separate, she's back to her boisterous self. Didn't, at one point in Harry Potter, didn't J.K. Rowling write, like, a dialogue tab as, like, Snape shouting something out, and then he says, and then she ends it with Snape ejaculated? Didn't she do that in one of the books? I don't know why that came up in my head, but I was just thinking that when they said interjecting there. Tara interjecting.
Are you guys coming or what?
Morgan puts her arm around Tara's shoulders as she waves us on. Not missing a beat, Tara pushes her long hair to the side so Morgan can kiss her cheek.
Come on, I'll race you there.
You're on.
Those two turned out to have a surprising amount in common. Whatever store of energy they both draw from, it seems to be infinite. Morgan and I go at a more similar pace, although even she's more enthusiastic about going along with Tara's craziness. Love does that, I guess.
You go ahead, babe. I'll catch up.
Me too. My swimsuit definitely isn't built for sprinting.
Abigail gives me a nod and another quick peck. Tara tries to do the same, but Morgan pulls her on for a full-on kiss. When she pulls away, Tara looks completely stunned.
Better hurry, Abigail. Don't waste the head start.
That's the first time I've ever seen a kiss used to give someone a technical advantage. I can respect that. So can I, Maddie. So can I. Abigail takes off running while Tara blinks away with her days before dashing after her. I do use my ability to make people bottom speak to a technical advantage, though.
No fair!
Yes, it is! You have longer legs than me!
Exactly. Tara, you're brave for wearing a swimsuit bottom like that. Morgan and I are left in the dust, both chuckling at our overzealous partners. I doubt either of us expected someone so energetic to be such a perfect fit.
We should probably go after them.
Lead the way.
We both take off behind our girlfriends, entering the water and rushing to their arms. I can barely feel the cold of the water as Abigail's warmth envelops me.
And here I thought you were going to keep me waiting again.
Smug ass. We lean in for a kiss at the same time, our lips pressing together in a deep, warm union.
Don't you worry, Abigail.
Although I'm both the Abigail and the Maddie in this situation. I'm smug as fuck, but also I have no energy, like Maddie.
I'll always be right behind you.
The smile she gives puts me the sunlight to
I
shame.
know, Madison. I know.
Great descriptor. Beautiful descriptor. Mwah, 10 out of 10. In love with a ghost, achieve the true ending. We did it, Mom. I beat Heart of the Woods. Although, was this harder than the Highway Blossoms DLC? Highway Blossoms DLC was pretty hard. I think this is harder. This is harder. This is, which also means that it's 2 steps above the Elden Ring DLC. Yeah. I think as a whole package, Heart of the Woods beat Highway Blossoms. Highway Blossoms has some just, like, killer moments, so... But Please Be Happy still trumps both of them for me. Not by much, though. It's like how, I rank FF10 above FF7, you know? I'm like, you know... I love both the games. But I think FF10 comes out on top by, like, splitting hairs, you know? I think FF7 has better music. I think FF10 has the best mechanics in a Final Fantasy game. I think FF7 has an extremely good through line, but I think FF10 is a little bit better. And the same thing kind of goes here. I think Please Be Happy comes out on top for me, but this is not far behind. And Highway Blossoms is just a smidge below that, you know? It's like splitting hairs. Highway Blossoms is still like a damn good game though. It's still an A tier. So this is like A plus tier, and Please Be Happy is like S tier. I mean, I could probably, if I compare it to like other VNs that we got to see, you know, I'd say Stray Gods was an A or A plus tier as well. Oh god, fucking Class of 09. Class of 09 is like, it's straight B tier, but it makes me laugh all the time, which makes it perfect. Valhalla, A plus tier. I'd rank Valhalla with this. Coffee Talk, straight A tier. So, I don't think there have been any misses so far in this journey. But next up is going to be National Park Girls, which we're going to start on Tuesday, I think. And I'm sure National Park Girls will be as good as this. Or at least as good as Highway Blossoms. So, we're going to see about that one. Class of 09... Yeah, exactly. Class of 09 is B tier, but it's the kind of movie that you know is shit, but you love watching it. You know? Like, I know a lot of people talk about The Room. You know, The Room is where the guy's like, I did not hit her. Oh, hi, Mark, so how's your sex life? You know? It's just a shit movie, but people love watching it. And that's what Class of 09 is, essentially. Absolute trash. But it's the good kind of trash that makes me feel better about my life. Yeah. Heart of the Woods, very good title. I have very few complaints with it. I do think it's a little bit too easy to get a bad ending, because there are like 2/3 of the choices that you make lead to bad endings, right? And I feel like it's not very clear how you're gonna get the good ending. But I don't know, it's alright. I don't blame them too much for making it more difficult to get it. I just think that the choice that you have to make, yeah, it's counterintuitive. I feel like the choice that you have to make to get the good ending is a choice that you probably wouldn't make. Oh, hi, Captain Zero Puns, how are you? So, we just went through, and the first time that I played, I got the bad ending to this. And we just did the good ending. So, I'm glad that you came now, because it would have been complete spoilers to you guys, I think. Right? Because you guys ended with, like, Chapter 5 last night, was it? Or, like, the end of Chapter 4 last night? But I hope you're doing well. Telling Tara to stay strong. Yeah, you would think that would be the good ending, right? But it's kind of counterintuitive how you get to the ending, the good ending, and it's difficult to get there. Oh, you've played the game before, with your friends. Okay. That's good. So, no spoilers. Oh, so spoilers, okay. Yeah, okay. Right, so I just finished that, and it was so much better. The first time through, I got the ending where Abigail and Maddie essentially have to die, and Tara and Morgan live. And I've been rooting for Maddie and Abigail the entire game. Like, their stocks are like so much higher to me than Morgan and Tara's stocks, you know? Which I guess is not saying much. It's like saying one of them is like $17 a share and one of them is $10 a share, but like, yeah, it felt terrible. So I came back, we just got the good ending, and I'm proud. I'm happy. I'm very happy to do this. But we've been streaming 2 hours. I'm gonna take a quick break here. I don't know, wanna go on to like an hour of Guild Wars 2, I'll call it, or I don't think I want to start National Park Girls tonight. I think I want to save the start of National Park Girls for Tuesday. And I also don't think I want to do any Final Fantasy VIII tonight. I'm not in the mood for it. And like all I'd be doing is like farming. You got that one too? Yeah, I had to look up a guide. Yeah, National Park Girls is also Studio Elon. That'll be our 4th Studio Elon title. And I am planning to play that one next. And I also have a few others. I have a few short ones, like Who's the Queen in Red, Without a Voice. I think those are really short, but then I also have Twofold, which I think is longer. And so we'll probably play Twofold after National Park Girls. But yeah, I'm gonna take a quick break. BRB, if anyone has an idea, or if anyone feels strongly about what I should play, feel free to message in chat. National Park Girls cute? Perfect. Alright, I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. Alright, I'm back. Wait, I said it was only gonna take a couple of minutes. It only took a couple minutes, right?